everything has an end. Nothing in our world lasts forever, and that's why we value what we have. Even this principle of beginning and ending is even reflected in something as simple as a fishing rod. We draw it in, and if there was something on the rod, durability would be used. There's a limit to how many times we can use this fishing rod. But today we're going to try and change that. So in our small little fight against the circle of life, the first thing I actually want to do is change this fishing rod. This is actually based on a comment from Tater. This fishing rod allows us to change between whether Pokemobs are in follow or wander mode. We'll get a little bit more into that, but you can see you can kind of swap between. But you'll notice it uses up durability, and it uses it up pretty quick. So, as per Tater's comment, I'd like to make this fishing rod unbreakable. So, look at that. Now it doesn't have an end. Sweet. Okay, so we can use it as much as we want. That's nice because crafting these things is kind of annoying, and they're a very necessary component. So on to the main goal of today's episode. Have you ever heard the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise? There's definitely some similarities. Oh dear. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here first is I want to detect when entities die and, well, stop them from dying. Hence the Star Wars 3 reference. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to fill up more chickens in here, and we're going to run a command block to test for the moment that something dies. We want to see if we can actually recover it. And the reason is because if we have, say, a creature on our team, right? If this chicken is on our team and he goes to battle for us and he dies, like in Pokemon or Pal World, stuff doesn't die permanently, it faints. And so, you know, you can recover its health later to prevent its permanent death. So we're going to set up something. What are we going to set up? Let's take a look here. This is going to be a lot harder than the fishing rod. That is for sure. So if we just take a look at a chicken, they have a few things we can track. We want to be tracking stuff that would be on any mob because we want potentially any mob in our team, right? So we have health here. So we can track, you know, when it goes below a certain level. We also have death time. So first I want to experiment with death time. If we can track the moment that they die, can we heal them after that moment? That's what I want to see. So the way we'll check is super easy. We're just going to check if the death time, which always sits at 0, is not at 0, hence the unless. Wait, it's supposed to only send that message if they died. Uh-oh, I think I messed something up. What? There it is. Okay, I need an S. I must check if the S is there. Has to match perfectly. Okay, so let's run this. Yes. So now it should detect if we say... Whoops. This doesn't even have sweeping edge. Okay, that was way more chickens than I wanted to kill. I guess I need to use the axe next time. Oh, and of course, in other news, it didn't work at all. What? Why not? Let me see if I can run this fast enough. Oh, there's no way this is gonna work. I need one chicken all by itself. All right, here's a close chicken. Let me try something here. I need to run a command really fast, right? No, don't move, chicken. Okay, so I need to run this one as soon as I... I face palmed. Okay, let's separate you from the pack. All right, let's try again here. That was so slow. Okay, that's not gonna work. Wow, that was pretty bad. Oh no. What if we test for them being 0 health? So the lowest possible number they could be, but maybe they'll still be targetable. I'm assuming that's what was happening with the death time, is they weren't targetable. So let's just... The problem is I need some data I need this data basically the moment that they die. Okay, so I looked some stuff up and it seems like this is a very hard thing to do. If you just want to test if a player's killing a creature, that's super easy. There's advancements for that, but if you want to test if an entity killed another entity, oh boy. So what we're gonna do here is a clever little trick from the Minecraft command subreddit. We want a marker, and the trick is that, so we can have a marker ride a creature, which is what we're gonna do here. We're gonna put it on top of one of the chickens, but I should actually make sure that I know which one. I just realized. Let's maybe partition some of these guys off. Come on, chicken. Don't you want to live forever? Get in the pen. Oh, here we go. No. Herding cats would have been easier. Okay, there we go. So we can make sure that the marker only goes on this chicken. So we actually know where the marker is, because it won't show up if we do F3 and B. That's the nice thing about markers. They don't add like extra calculations and stuff. But then what we need to do is set up a command block here. I guess on the ceiling, sure. And the basic trick is that the marker will be riding the entity throughout the whole process of the death. So we can actually get its information while it's like dying in quotation marks, like, and maybe we could heal it back up to full health. I'm not sure. Okay, so it should get the data as soon as we take out this chicken. Yes, here we go. Okay. Ooh, and look at this. Here's the proof. Okay, 0.0 health. So we could potentially check for that. That might actually let us get in before the death is like calculating. Yeah, here we go. Death time 15S. So I believe that ticks down. And like that's the little like red animation, you know? Anyway, so that did 100% work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change this to be instant health. And so hopefully this should heal it up to full health. Whoa, actually, I think I saw some particles happening. It might have even been trying. Put on the marker, and I'm gonna kill it slower this time. Ah, see, okay, so you saw the particle there, but that wasn't enough to save it. So maybe we check for, wait a second, we don't need to heal it. Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, so this is Pokemobs. If it faints, we can just put it right back into its little, you know, shell thing. Its little egg. Duh. Yeah, because we already can get its data, so that's all we need to put it into the egg. Okay, I think I have everything figured out. I want some seeds, because there's not a whole lot of chickens left. But now we have this big bundle of command blocks, which hopefully work. We'll find out. So hopefully up here I won't pick up the item, but let's go ahead and... Whoa. Now, theoretically, those should actually all be correct. I didn't realize it would trigger every single tick that the thing was dead. Wait, none of the chickens have the 0.1 health that we're looking for. I wonder if the health thing messed up or if the whole thing messed up. Ah, look at that. There's no data in here. Well, these are useless. Yeah, I mean, we're putting all kinds of information in it here. We're removing the death time. We're adding in like the team and health and whatnot. So while I'm thinking about that, quick little update about the scales of Pokemobs. So you know how sometimes the scale of creatures, Pokemobs, actually changes a little bit, like in the cow pen by where we were working? Well, what I discovered is if the Iron Golem size changes, I have it turned off, but just so we can see, boom. So if we have, okay, that's a little bit bigger than it's supposed to be, but it does the job very well. You'll notice he can't fit into the hole. So he kind of breaks our iron farm because it won't spawn other iron golems while he's here. And this of course would be true of any iron golem farm, not just mine. And so we need a way to not scale up iron golems that are in an iron farm, but still scale them up outside. Because honestly, like an iron golem this big, come on, that's cool. So let's go adjust that. So this is the scale stuff, and all we need to do is insert a command into... Oh, I was right the first time. Yeah, we just have to put something in here. Basically, while it's in the process of going, specifically for iron golems, we check if their block is water. And if it is, we'll remove the tag that lets them get a scale change. So this one right here, Pokemobs scale statting. And that should do it. And now, whoa, wow, that was a more drastic scale change than I expected. But yeah, now the scale thing won't mess up iron farms. There we go, quick break over. Yes, there it is, 0.1D. Wait, that's supposed to be an F. I might need to specify that. Okay, so the problem was actually pretty straightforward. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It was targeting the wrong item. So like when the feathers were popping out, it was probably changing the data of the feather, and the feather's like, I do not care. So let's just adjust that to be F, because that's what it's supposed to be. So this guy might not keep the same health. Oh yeah, technically we need to get rid of his position tag too, because otherwise he'll just teleport over here. Oh, the 0.1D did actually translate into 0.1F. That's pretty convenient. So he has his super low health, so he'll die to a punch, a single punch. Oh, but then we don't get a gas spawn egg back. I thought that it saved the data of the marker entity on top of him. It did, but it also saved the UUID, which means only one entity with that specific UUID can exist. So we would have to either kill the one that exists, or else we have to remove its UUID. And normally we're just going to kill the marker at the end, so we'll add that in here. This is still kind of just a janky setup, but now we should have a complete loop, I believe. Let's make sure to breed these guys and keep the circle of life going. So as long as we summon a marker, I think we have a chicken that lives forever. And I believe, yeah, he just dies to one punch. So he's like minimum possible health. Yeah, and he just keeps dropping the egg, but I've realized a problem here. We're trying to do this, like, you know, make the chicken live forever, which is, you know, things are supposed to have a beginning and an end. And one thing I'm noticing here is this 42 chicken and 55 feathers, those all came from one, maybe more than that, maybe like 5 total chickens. So basically we made it possible to get infinite drops. That's not gonna work. Now the problem is, if we do this a couple more times, the problem is that I really like the death animation for the fainting. It's like, oh man, he fainted. No, did I lose him? And then you see this little egg and it's like, oh, okay, so my guy's still here. I still have him, but he's like low health. But if we want to keep the death animation, that means the drops are gonna pop out every single time. Unless we could change the loot table, maybe. Now, just to see if this is possible, let's spawn the chicken in. So I think that there's a way we can change his loot table, but I want to see what the possible ones are. Oh, there's more than just mobs here. Oh, this would be a really obvious difference if we use an orange sheep. Okay, let's try that. So I need to data merge onto him. And there's a tag that's not on there by default, but that we can define. So we can set the death loot table to be the one that we found earlier. And theoretically, I'm not super confident in this, but I think he will drop orange wool instead of chicken. Look at that. Okay, so we got 1 orange wool and 1 raw mutton. Am I still picking it up through there? No. I'm trying to throw it somewhere where it will despawn. Okay, so the thing that we can do with this is we can set the loot table to be something that doesn't drop anything at all. Now, theoretically, I could make my own, but being a little bit lazy, let's see if we can find an entity that doesn't drop anything ever. Wait a second. Do foxes drop anything? I feel like they don't. Oh, endermites definitely don't. And they're not likely to include anything in the future either, so that would be a pretty safe pick. The safest pick would just be, you know, me making my own, but for testing purposes, Okay, so he has an Endermite loot table. So now we still get XP, which I didn't think of, but we don't get any items. So that's something, I guess. Oh, what are we gonna do about XP? How do you even control that? Oh, well, hang on a second. XP, oh, I tried to. Oh, does his loot table not save when he dies? That's interesting. But yeah, experience orbs are an actual item entity. Or not an item entity, just a regular entity. So we could just, you know, remove them. Pretty easy. This might be the first time I'm ever targeting an experience orb in a command. Oh man. Okay, so that should remove the XP. And I guess we have to set the death loot table again. I mean, technically he died, so he kind of used that up, so I guess it makes sense. So theoretically, he doesn't drop anything, and we won't get any XP orbs. Ah, ta-da! Look at that. Okay, so trying to have an infinite chicken definitely caused some issues, but I think we got them mostly worked out. So I think probably what the plan will be is we'll give them the loot table and the marker armor stand when we set them to be an active member of our team. But yeah, when they get the little thing above their head, that's when they'll get all the extra data. And then if we remove that, then we can just set it back to normal. Because it seems like if we remove the, like if we set it to be Endermite and then set it to be empty, I think it'll revert to chicken. Oh, it was nothing. Oh, well, that might be an even safer bet. Wait, hang on. We can literally just give it a blank loot table? Really? Huh. Okay. Well, that's definitely the best option available. Don't have to make a file. Definitely not going to get changed, probably. I don't know, it might. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. So before we finish up the last little bit of the fainting chicken and like integrating it in the data pack and everything, I want to collect some bamboo. Why do I want to collect bamboo? Well, obviously because of sniffers, right? Why, you ask? Well, let me answer that with a question. What do you think is the nicest thing about sniffers? Is it their ambient noise that they make? Is it the sort of friendly, like walk towards you attitude? I definitely think those are excellent, but I think one of the best parts about the sniffer is actually its color palette. Now, this is a completely unintentional coincidence, but if you pay attention to the three colors here, we got like tealy blue, sort of dark red, and then on the nose, bright yellow. Here in the Nether, it's always dangerous, tealy blue, dark deep red, and what I realized is we have yellow, and I started noticing, I was like, I really like this yellow. I don't want to chop all these scaffolding down. Like I will eventually when we're done with this place, but then I was like, what if we use bamboo? How do you do this? Uh-oh. As you can tell, I've never made like bamboo wood or anything. Oh, that's expensive. Was there a cheaper way? Oh, those are logs. Okay. Oh no. I may need a bamboo farm. 28 planks, just enough. I guess it's time to raid backup bamboo. Where's my backup bamboo? Oh, there it was. All right, we're gonna test a couple things. So the idea is this. We have super organic looking area. The wood isn't really gonna fit in with the organicness, but if we use the wood as a path, not only will it be a great accent because the yellow draws your eye, but also it has like a more structured texture, which will hopefully stand out. But I was thinking we could maybe do a couple of clever path type ideas, maybe like pressure plates. And then you can still kind of see the blue around it. And it would look like rocks, sort of? I don't know if this is dumb or not. But if we have like something like this, oh, the clicking. That's probably not a good idea. This looks a little too boring though. You kind of see what I mean? We could maybe use trap doors. I don't know how these look. Ooh, those are kind of nice. Ooh, it could look like it's sort of on top of the... Yeah, it's like the path isn't actually, you know, dug into the ground. It's like actually on top of it. Like you don't want to touch the ground, which matches actually over here. Oh wait, we have different paths. Oh, should we... Oh, I forgot. Okay, so I did kind of come up with a path style already that has absolutely nothing to do with bamboo. I still want to include it. I mean, maybe over here we could do like... Oops. Poles or something? That's kind of nice, actually. What if, instead of all these, what if we didn't actually make a path? What if we just pretended there was a path? So, you know, we do something kind of like this. I'm trying not to delete all the the foliage. But you see how we can kind of imply a path? Oh, I actually really like this. I don't know how you guys think about this, but this kind of implied path is an interesting idea. I've never tried before. Usually I just place the blocks directly on the ground, you know? But this is cool. Oh, I like this a lot, actually. Wow, wait, that's... I like that a lot more than I expected. Oh no, now it costs fences. I don't know if this would look good, but potentially we could add it over here? We might be able to do something like this. Just have these kind of like little posts like that. Yeah, that's okay. We could put torches on it. The torches kind of ruin the effect, actually. Okay, well, wow. I may need to design a bamboo farm in a future episode. Okay. Well, I guess I should make a bunch more fences. You know, and an interesting bit of irony. By adding this like borders to the path, we give the path a beginning and an ending, and it makes it look better. We can't escape it everywhere. That's what I'm seeing here. Oh, what are we gonna do? Guess we should probably do something like this. Yeah. So you can see the path kind of splits apart. Whoops. And then goes over this way. I probably shouldn't mention how long this hole has been here. Or else you might know how lazy I really am. Oh, I've been meaning to do that for so long. There we go. Alright, let's mix in like that. I was trying to decide whether I want foliage in the path or not. And honestly, I think it makes the most sense. Like, if this was a fully regular cleared path, like, we would just have a solid fence. But seeing as it's like super overgrown, there's probably not really enough time or space to, you know, really clear it out. So by making it overgrown like this, it kind of makes the fence make more sense. And I think it looks better when you have like the blue and the yellow right next to each other. Kind of nice. Oh, I used up all my bamboo blocks. We could have maybe, you know... Oh no, this is a bad idea. The big cow's blocking the little cow. Ooh. How about you just go back in there? Maybe I'll just do it here for now. But we could, you know, do kind of that kind of fence. I mean, yeah, that definitely looks better. The green inside actually kind of messes the color scheme up a little bit. Hiding it like this is almost better. I mean, there is still these on top, but I think I'm going to leave this one for you guys to decide. If you have a preference, I mean, the bamboo door looks a little bit better. I'm still kind of leaning towards the walls. These pillars are only here for both sides to connect. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you prefer bamboo or do you prefer nether brick? All right, sweet. So we can actually... I forgot that this was here. This is how I get to my nether portal. There's an ice path. Or, I mean, nether fortress. That way. Actually, that might be a different nether fortress because that one also goes to a nether fortress. But I forget it's there, and so we can actually kind of direct our eyes with these path things. I like this. I really do. I mean, I think it's really cool because it's like, it gives your eye like a path that you can take, but you can totally ignore the path. And I'm very much a ignore the path kind of person sometimes. So it's like an implied path. Definitely cool. I really like the colors a lot. Like, look at this from far away. Just, oh, look at that. The yellow and the teal and the red. I don't know what it is. It just looks really good. And look at over here too. Oh man, you can see the paths really clearly, but then when you're like in it, it doesn't look like, you know, too much or overdone. Oh, hi. I don't have enough to finish everything. I really like that a lot. It adds a lot of yellow, but not too much. Pretty cool. So I've bred a lot of the chickens back. We have an actual chicken pen here instead of just like 2 chickens. And I got rid of a bunch of the command blocks, since now it's mostly in the data pack. So are you ready to see the completed thing? I pulled from the regular catch Pokemobs, so it looks a lot more like normal. We don't have the random gassed eggs. So if we add him to my team, it only works if he's an active party member. And then, bop. Yeah, we get the actual chicken egg with all of the appropriate data. You'll see there's even a message, weak from fainting. And we've created a chicken that can live forever. But the irony is we have to include him in our party, and he's not particularly useful in our party if he's so low health, you know, if he's just 1 punch away from dead. So all this attempt to, you know, counter the cycle of life, to somehow beat death and just not include an ending in him. We've forcibly been moved to an ending. And honestly, I think it's more balanced that way. If you have a reason to include him or not include him, it makes the choices of including a Pokemob in your party a little bit more meaningful. And it's made me think even about this fishing rod, which is unbreakable. It just kind of feels wrong to have an item that lasts forever. It just doesn't fit within this world here, you know? So I think instead of unbreakable, oh, it kept the same durability. That's interesting. We'll give it max damage, thereby giving it an end. This is 1561 is how much durability a diamond pickaxe has. So it definitely still has a lot. We're not going to need to make a new one for a long time, but it will end at some point, giving us an opportunity for a new beginning. That, you know, crafting an item. But yeah, I think that that's going to do it for this episode. Really happy with our fainting system. It's going to let us keep our mobs a lot longer, as long as they're in our party. I hope you enjoyed the end of this episode. And I'll see you in a new beginning for our world here. Or an episode, I suppose. Anyways, that'll do it for me. So I'll catch you next time. Later, later.